What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. I was trying to go live, but it was taking too long to load, and then I figured if I was going live while it would be loading while I'm talking, and it would be lagging and stuff like that, and I don't want to deal with nothing like that. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl. I hope you can see me well. I'm using the front-facing camera, not front-facing camera. Yeah, I'm using the front. No, the selfie camera, not the front-facing camera. I just didn't feel like I just don't. The least amount of effort to do something is what I want to do. I don't want to be doing a bunch of stuff. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. I've been going back and forth with people about Jackie Christie, Chantel Christie, and Takari. I don't know what Takari's last name is. I think she has a different father, which is part of one of the reasons um, which is part of one of the reasons why um, she was mistreated. One of the reasons, besides being dark skinned, fat, and possibly disabled, right? Because that clearly falls out of the box of a white male, heterosexual, thin, able body, right? Um, yeah. So I personally have a mother who was, I always say she is a lighter version of Tokyo Tony. You can probably include Jackie, personality traits of Jackie Christie. Um, and I don't think if you don't have as a girl daughter, if you don't did not or even witness a toxic relationship dynamic between the parent and child, um, and the child being a daughter and the parent being a mother, you literally are not going to understand um, where people are coming from when it comes time to talk about the dynamics that is being displayed. A lot of people want to start at the end, which is the physical altercation that not Shawnee, Chantel, and Jackie um, got into, where she was walking away. Jackie got up, and then Chantel walked back towards her and then pushed her out the way and then moved her out the way. And then Jackie balling up her fists, calling her a bitch, and then hitting her. Seemed like something that she's been wanting to do for a long time. There are so many dynamics happening here. Then also Takari coming out, um, kind of defending Jackie in a Stockholm syndrome kind of way. Like, finally, the golden child is getting the beating that I didn't see her get, right? When Chantel has admitted that she's younger than Takari, of course, and that she would be told that Takari was fat and black and she needed to be on a treadmill, and Chantel was used as the overseer to Jackie's mistreatment of Takari. So Takari and Chantel have now been triangulated and therefore do not have a close relationship. And that is by design, right? That's by their mother's design. That's what she wants. Um, we've seen over the years people meet up with Chantel, Jackie and Chantel and Takari go to therapy. But a lot of the times, and what people who don't have multiple siblings, they don't understand that. Okay, so there's the child and the parent, and there's the other siblings, right? The relationship that I have with my mother, I'll use my father. I can use my mother too, but I almost felt like an only child because it was two of us, and my brother went to live with my dad and I went to live with my mom. So I felt like an only child. But when you have multiple siblings and each sibling has a different relationship with each parent, and the siblings watching have a different perspective. You will hear siblings sometimes accuse a parent of having a favorite child, and the quote favorite or golden child is like, I don't even know why y'all act like that, because they don't treat me any different than they treat you. But to the child looking on, who's being mistreated, Takari in this case sees Chantel like, oh, you are helping mom abuse me, right? Two children being pitted against each other, and the mother at the helm of that. Jackie, it's every when I'm as I sit here, it's fuck Jackie Christie on every level, at every variable, in every equation. It's fuck Jackie Christie. Why? A lot of people were saying, why aren't we talking about Doug? I don't know if you have ever seen interviews of children whose fathers were professional athletes, specifically basketball players, say that they were not necessarily neglected, but the father wasn't there. Not only was the father wasn't there, another dynamic that is not being discussed is Jackie's insecurities as a woman. And when you have an insecure mother who pedestalizes her husband, but also pedestalizes the light-skinned child against the dark-skinned child, she also sees that girl child as competition for attention from the father. There's a lot of dynamics that people are not taking into account when they're talking about Jackie and her daughters. Jackie is a toxic woman. She is a toxic woman who makes a toxic mother, a male centered, right? Why isn't anybody talking about Doug? To Chantel's point, when she would go try to talk to her father, her mother would get in the middle of it. She didn't allow them to cultivate a relationship with their father. And being a man on the road, Jackie Christie following him. I'm from Los Angeles, California. And I remember the stories about Jackie Christie when Doug Christie played for the Lakers. I think it was like in the early 90s. He played for the Lakers. Jackie Christie would be one, outside of the locker room to make sure no groupies got in. Two, followed them to away games. She was she was effectively neglecting her children to follow around after a man. And that man being not being connected or emotionally not having to be emotionally connected to his children. So many of y'all who grew up in two-parent homes will tell you that their father was present, but he was not active. He was emotionally unavailable. He didn't divvy out awards. He didn't even divvy out discipline. Some fathers did divvy out discipline, but they didn't divvy out awards. They were only there to be a disciplinarian or just sit in the lazy boy and not be connected to the children at all. And in Doug Christie's case, he's traveling as a basketball player. Shaquille O'Neal just got on his platform talking to his son. I can't remember his name, start with a SH. Shamir, I don't know, Shamizel. You know, that's from Laverne and Shirley. That's from Laverne and Shirley. Okay, let me get serious because I said I wasn't going to talk about this, and I see the response from so many people defending the parent. And oftentimes, when there is a toxic child and parent relationship, to maintain hierarchy, people will defend the parent no matter what the situation is. I remember so many times being told, that's just your mother, 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 that's just your mother. So many times. Also in families, and I'm not saying just Black families, this happens in a lot of families where it's a hierarchical, patriarchal dynamic where the man is the center and the women are running around doing everything, and the children, the girl children specifically, are neglected, and the boy children are coddled, right? And even in conflict, they will, in a hierarchical parenting dynamic, they will take the son side. If you notice, Jackie's son has not come to the front. He has not said anything. However, he's on the phone with Chantel. He's supporting Chantel, but he hasn't come out and shared his experience, to my knowledge, with his mother. And I guarantee you, from the girls, it was a completely different experience. Even though he might have sat and watched how his mother and father treated the other children, specifically Jackie in this case, um, and understanding that, oh, she doesn't do me like that. She's really mean to them. She seems like she's jealous of them. She's triangulating them. Why is Chantel watching Takari on a treadmill and monitoring how long she stays on a treadmill? You know, that's to Chantel's testimony. That is what she says would happen in their home. She was, I think, I don't know how many years older, maybe 6. I don't know how many years older she is. But even Chantel came down to the internet and was like, you have Stockholm syndrome. Because what Takari says is, this light-skinned girl was treated better than me, even though she wasn't, right? But from her as a child, from her perspective, if the overseer, right, I'm overseeing everything. I'm overseeing whether she's eating right and this and that, and I'm younger than her, but you put me in charge because she's big and black and has a speech impediment, which I think has something to do with her hearing. I'm not particularly sure, but typically those, the ear, nose, throat type of situation goes together. You can't really hear, so your speech is affected by that. So all of that, her being fat, her being dark skinned, her being possibly, I don't want to say that she's disabled, but she's not perfect. She's not, quote, normal. She has a disability. I don't want to call it a disability. I don't want to call it a disability, but y'all know, you understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to be sensitive to folks with disabilities, right? And being hearing impaired or having a speech impediment based on you being hearing impaired, that could look like, to a parent like Jackie and to parents like Jackie, she's not perfect, and she's fat, and she's dark skinned, and I have these light skinned children from this light skinned man that I'm going to put on a pedestal. So now I've triangulated the daughters, right? We don't have a good relationship because our mother triangulated us. Our mother used Chantel as an overseer over Takari, who was older than her. So not only are you younger than me, our mother has you watching over me. The other day, yesterday, Takari posted a clip with a bunch of, it sounds like terrorism in the background. I won't even play it because it would require a trigger warning. And I felt like her posting that and acting like she was just listening to her sister getting beat is because she was the daughter that was always getting beat, while Chantel probably watched getting mistreated, while Chantel and Dougie probably watched. And so now she's like, girl, you getting the ass whooping you that I never saw you get. You're getting the discipline I never saw you get. From Chantel's perspective, she was, when you are the object of a triangulation, but you're also pedestalized, it's really difficult to name what was done to you, right? Right? My mother was not neglectful. She was not neglectful. It was more of a personality, her personality, right? She was very, she was very, she seemed angry. Like when she disciplined me, it was very angry. Like she like was like angry at me. And I remember Lauryn Hill's daughter saying her mother disciplined her in anger all the time. So that doesn't look crazy. I used to be screaming to the top of my lungs. My grandfather would have to stop my mom from beating me. Do you understand what I'm saying? He would be, I would even hear conversations after she would beat me. To my grandfather would say, you don't feel bad seeing the whelps on her body after you've whooped her? Like, you don't feel bad when you do that? And then the fact that in so many families where corporal punishment is the response to, is the way to discipline children, the mind fuck that you have to go through to allow someone to beat you. Not only that, but for you to go out and get a switch off of the tree, and then I'm going to hit you with it. You go get the tool I'm going to use to abuse you. I'm going to make you go get it. I'm going to make you go get it. Then I'm going to beat you. And then you need to let me beat you. You need to let me beat you. You cannot defend yourself, because any defense of yourself is deemed disrespectful to me. So you defending yourself from my wrath is disrespectful to me. Don't you dare defend yourself against your parent who is abusing you through corporal punishment. Don't you dare do it. Like I shared last night on Twitter, I'm all over the place. I'm just talking. We're just talking. I remember on Twitter, so many memories are unlocking for me. And so many people are like, oh, you're taking this so personally. You're taking this, because I'm always going to advocate for the child who was abused. Always. I don't give a fuck if they 31. I'm always, because your inner child is still broken. Her inner child, Takari's inner child, broken if they haven't gone through therapy yet. But I've been through therapy, so I'm able to identify it. Not that I'm not healed. Please do not get in the comments and suggest that I am not healed, because I am verbalizing what I am able to identify in the relationship dynamic between Jackie and her daughter. So many Black people, brown people, Asian people, white people do not like when you defend yourself against their abuse. We see it every single day in every aspect. And you know why? Because it starts in the home. It starts in the home. And if you don't heal that, you are liable to reintroduce that into a cycle of how you discipline your children. I couldn't believe the amount of millennials. I can understand boomers because that's how they were raised. I am, I am, I can see some I'm Gen X, but I don't play that shit, because I was the victim of what would be considered child abuse, the way that I was disciplined, right? The last time my father hit me, I was 23 years old. And he did it in front of my siblings, and they all sat there and watched. And I even cussed their asses out as they sit there. You motherfuckers watch that motherfucker beat me, hit me. I'm a woman. That was the last time he hit me. And then when you defend yourself, even speaking for yourself, you're disrespecting them. You're disrespecting them. That's why everybody has the opinion, and the abuse is so prevalent that it's almost invisible. The abuse and the way that people are programmed and conditioned to see the relationship dynamics between a parent and a child. I could never hit my mother. If my mother put her hands on me, I'm going to defend myself. Because I know that in so many households, your parents tell you, don't allow anyone to disrespect you. How many people have been told that by their parents? Don't allow anyone to disrespect you except me. They don't say that part, it's in their actions. So I can disrespect you, but nobody else can disrespect you. That's a mind fuck. So in essence, Allow me to disrespect you, to discipline you, to put my hands on you in a violent, aggressive way. You cannot defend yourself. Like I shared on Twitter, what the last time my mother hit me, I think I was like 16 or 17 years old. And that people hit people because they can't control them. That's why, because they can't control them. What Jackie did in hitting Chantel was a pull in rank. Like, bitch, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna remind you I'm your mother, right? But you saw Chantel throw something back at her, like, oh, bitch, no, we're going to fight. Because at that point, there's actually no relation there. You are an op to me. You are an enemy to me. You put your hands on me, I'm going to do you like my parents taught me to do. You fight until that person doesn't move. You defend yourself. You survive the situation. Can you imagine your assailant continuously being your mother and you being told that's just your mother? She's just your mom. You only get one mom. It's very toxic. And the people that are applauding, like I said, I can see baby boomers, I can even see Gen X, right? But millennials, I was like, ooh, y'all really accept that it is okay. It's okay. Well, Chantel has to take some responsibility for her mother mistreating her. The responsibility that she has to take first is acknowledge what happened. Jackie won't even acknowledge what happened. She says, I'm apologizing. I don't even know why I'm apologizing because, from my perspective, I didn't do anything wrong. You had food on the table, you had a roof over your head, and your grandmother was down the hall while you were on the road standing outside of locker rooms. You funky, musty, dirty bitch. Fuck Jackie Christie. Why would you come on a show to disrespect your mother? Girl, because why did she agree to come on the show? Didn't she say she wanted to monetize off of it? Why does Fix My Life exist? Why do these shows where there's a so called psychologist helping these families? None of it is our business. None of it is our business, but it absolutely is our business. You know why? Because it's a community issue. It's the way that people are socialized to let people abuse them and then not defend themselves, not being able to think about this dynamic. You're physically putting your hands on your child that you claim that you love, and them defending themselves is disrespectful to you. So me defending myself, last time my mom hit me, I think I was 16 or 17. It was before I exited high school. It might have been, I know it was before I turned 18. I graduated high school at 17. So it was before I turned 18 that August. I can't remember. But she went to hit me, and she's a tad bit shorter than me, and she has her wrists are small. I grabbed her wrist to keep her from hitting me, right? To defend myself, but having that ounce of respect that I'm not going to hit you, lady, even though you've hit me so many times, and in the real world I should beat your fucking ass. Me grabbing her wrist, baby, you would have thought I punched her in the face. She was outdone. You disrespecting me. Disrespecting you by defending myself? Girl, you're nuts. You're nuts. But then also me being a guilt trip put on the child who wants to exit the relationship with that toxic parent. So many people defend the parent. That's why Jackie is running around acting the way that she acts, because everybody is defending the hierarchy. That's what they're defending, the rank, right? That's your mother. Don't you ever disrespect your mother. Don't you put your hands on your mother. She's violent towards me. She's always told me never allow anyone to disrespect you. And if somebody puts their hands on you, you make sure you put their hands on them until they are not moving. You understand? but not me. Let me hit you. Let me beat you. Let me talk to you crazy. Let me do all of those things. I can do all of those things because I'm your parent, because I'm your dad, because I'm your mom. Let me disrespect you, verbally, physically, emotionally, financially abuse you because I'm your mother. And then you wonder why so many people are in toxic, romantic, intimate relationships because they've been socialized to accept abuse as a form of love. Now, these people telling you they love you. You don't love a person you put your hands on. Parents, you don't love a child you put your hands on. You are making imprints. Those welts and those marks that you leave on your child, they go into the skin and create a scar that when they get older, they are going to have to heal themselves because like Jackie, I don't even know what I did. I don't even know why I'm apologizing. And I don't give a fuck how the apology looks. I'm apologizing to you, but I don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect. Jackie is a gutter snipe. She's a pig. She is a pig. Actually, she's not even a pig. Pigs are actually more intelligent than that. I've seen animals treat their children better. But everybody is so focused on the blow up, not the fuse that led to the bomb blowing up. What about all of this stuff? Let's talk about all the stuff in this fuse. Let's talk about everything that led up to these two women physically fighting. To me, that was the only natural course of action. Me pushing you, you hitting me, and everybody rejoicing that the parent pulled rank and reminded the child, you are just a fucking kid. Fuck you, fuck your feelings, fuck anything you're going through. The reason why Chantel is not verbalizing what Jackie did to her, because y'all would really get a glimpse into how disrespectful and abusive this woman was. If the son, I swear to God, if the son came out and talked, all of y'all would believe him and y'all would curse Jackie. Because the girl children, who cares how you treat them? How do you treat this boy child? He was probably revered. He was probably uplifted because he's a boy. And in order to part of that hierarchy is male centeredness. I'm going to read some of my comments and then I'm going to go. But I'm going to read some of my comments from yesterday. I'm always have, let me tell you something. And anything you say to me, oh, but Chantel, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how Chantel speaks to Jackie. I don't care that Chantel can't even verbalize what Jackie has done to her. You know why? Because the child that was pedestalized and triangulated with the dark-skinned, fat, disabled daughter, she was also mistreated. Anybody giving that type of those type of responsibilities of watching the older child, like what kind of shit were you doing in that house? And like I said, it might be an ounce of respect that Chantel has not to detail what she experienced in that house. I really want Doug Jr. to come and speak up, because then y'all will. I guarantee you, I know it. It's par for the course. The boy child comes out and says, "You know what? My mom abused both of my sisters." Then what are y'all gonna say? Then what are y'all gonna say? Y'all gonna believe him? Y'all will believe him, not the girl children, not the girl children. Even on my paternal side, my dad's side, my grandmother had a son and a daughter. When she says, I've heard so many stories where my father, and even in my grandmother's actions, even with my brother, pedestalized the boys, pedestalized and demeaned the daughters, made sure the daughters were working. This is women upholding a patriarchy hierarchy. And a lot of that comes from slavery, where you are beating people that you love, that you claim you love. I'm telling you now, if you putting your hands on your children and punishing them through corporal punishment, they are going to hate you when you get older. But so many children have to maintain these obligatory contracts with their abusers, and then you wonder why they end up in toxic relationships. I'm going to read some of my comments all day. In between the things that I was doing yesterday, I was tweeting about this, and I have a rebuttal for everybody. For everybody. Anything you say, nothing you say is going to make me side, even see. There is no objectivity here at all. Because if Z was the blow up and the physical altercation, but let's start at A and see why it blew up the way it. Oh, it shouldn't be done on TV. Y'all was on Fix My Life. Y'all watch Fix My Life. Y'all love Fix My Life. Y'all love watching those people come in and tell Iyanla all their problems and the toxic family dynamics. And you even saw Iyanla make the women work so hard, and the men she coddled and comforted and rocked back and forth. Even in that, and then you're lucky, girl, you lucky your children don't have the minds of the Menendez brothers who killed their parents after the abuse. Their mother didn't do anything to them. Their father did, but their mother stood by while their father did, centering the father, allowing the father to abuse their children. That's why they shot their fucking faces off. That's why they shot their faces off. You lucky Chantel don't have the mind of a Menendez brother and take their mother out. Oh, that's harsh. Yes, it's harsh, but you can't tell a person how to respond to years of abuse. Y'all are so willing to blame the victim. So, oh, well, Shawnee pushed her first. So what? So what? So that's not her mother. That's a woman. That's a woman harming her children, her offspring, pitting her offspring against each other, centralizing the father being absent but paying for everything on the road, their mother following their father around, neglecting all of her children. I'm getting a battery signal. I was trying not to have any breaks because I just want to upload this video. I'm not cutting it up. I'm not putting nothing in it. Hold on, let me get the charger. That's annoying me. I want to read some of my tweets. So because everything I said it in tweets. So I kind of want to read it so you can see what my perspective is. But I have a rebuttal for everybody. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if Chantel pushed her first. Jackie should have been pushed a long time ago. They should have jumped Jackie's ass a long fucking time ago. But again, y'all like to maintain the hierarchy. That's why everybody is rejoicing that the mother pulled rank and punched punched Chantel in the face. I don't even want to say her daughter, because when you say mother and daughter, there's this type of thing where there's some kind of like affection there. So you're like, trying to like, oh, she did her daughter. So you want that empathy to be like, oh, she treated these. To me are two women. Now that we've grown up and we're out of that parent child dynamic, even though you are my parent and I am your adult child, the dynamic of mother and daughter is not there. Right? Yeah, that's just a label. But you're a woman with a personality that is violent and harmful, and somebody needs to cuss your ass out. Brittany Renner backing up Chantel, good. Children of abusive parents should back up children of abusive parents. They understand what it's like. That's why she's speaking the way that we're all speaking about it and having our opinions. Brittany Renner has the right to have an opinion about it as well. Everybody, you stay out of it. You stay out of it while we're all in it. We can have comments, but Brittany Renner can have a comment. Laura Govan can have a comment. These people can't have comments about that. It's terrible that it was shown to us. But it was shown to us because Jackie pulled rank and punched her daughter in the side of the face. I don't know if she hit her right here or what. Here. And Moniece came out and said something to Takari, like, we were all on your side. What Takari is doing is rejoicing in her finally being able to witness Shani get disciplined. That's all that is. The dark-skinned daughter and the light-skinned daughter were pitted against each other. And that's what it was. And it was done intentionally. And so when it's time for Chantel to verbalize what she went through with her mother, it's hard to verbalize what, because it was like you were treated better, but you were also mistreated. Right? Um, deflecting to Doug, talking about why isn't she holding Doug accountable? She says she don't really have a relationship with him, but she knows that she could use him as a tool to get Jackie in line, because Jackie is such a fucking male-centered pick-me. I'm gonna throw my dad up. Let's call my dad. And every time she mentions let's call my dad, what does Jackie do? She gets to running. And I hope Doug Christie sees this. But guess what? Just like he's been physically present, but emotionally absent. I feel like when people keep bringing up Doug, like, where's her problem with Doug? Where's her problem with Doug? I said, this is not basketball. This is not a show called Basketball Coaches. This is called Basketball Wives. So she's on the show, and that's what we're addressing. Stop deflecting to him. Chantel already said that Jackie always ran interference between them building a relationship with Doug. Your grandmother was down the hall. Girl, that's like saying a suffocating child is in a room and you're like, well, the air conditioner was on. Girl, shut up. And the takes that y'all have in order to like bend yourself into a pretzel to be like, well, Chantel needs to take accountability. Accountability is acknowledging that your mother mistreated you, and the responsibility is, bitch, every time I see you, I'm remind you that you're an awful woman and you're an awful parent. Somebody agreed for her to come on the show. Jackie had to agree for her to come on the show. And even in Chantel talking and saying, like, and this is why I think it's really important to reevaluate. When you have a toxic parent and you have children, you have to reevaluate how you want your children to relate to the person who abused you. When I started to notice that my mother was doing the same things to my sons as she was doing to me, I cut her off from them. Now, if they get older, when they get of age, and if they want to rekindle a relationship, but the same manipulative tactics that she used to do to me, I recognize, oh, you doing that to my sons? Ma'am, no. You're getting cut off, because you're not going to be because you don't think you've done anything wrong. You're going to continue your parenting style on this next generation. You will not get to do that. So I'm going to cut you off from your grandchildren, because you will not get to imprint on them what you imprinted on me. I'm going to break that shit up, because you don't think you did anything wrong. So you're going to continue your behavior, and that personality hasn't changed either. So that manipulative, oh, and crying and all that other dumb shit, girl, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Out of here. Get it out of here. You're not going to be able to manipulate them. You're not going to be able to do the things that you did to me, to them. You have to reevaluate. I heard Chantel kind of like going over that, trying to go over that with Jackie, and like, she's their grandmother. No, they don't. They actually do. She doesn't deserve the grandchildren. And that's why she's a grandparent's rights. You don't have no rights when you've been abusive. And what Chantel needs to do is lay out all the time she's been abusive and the reason why these children will not, you don't have no rights to these children. How dare you think you have rights to my children? And my mother did the same thing, even tried to go behind my back, trying to call their father. What are you calling their father for to see how they're doing when you can call me? No, what you're doing is going to the person who you harmed me, and now you are colluding with with their father who also harmed me. Oh, bitch, you don't get no access. You don't get no access. You're fucking crazy, and you get no access. None. You will not be able to do to them what you did to me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that. And I'm not going to maintain some contract with the person who obviously didn't give a fuck because they put their hands on me. In my mind, when you put your hands on me in a violent, aggressive way, you don't like me, let alone love me. You don't like me. You don't respect me. How do you show respect? That's why when I started rearing my children and I found myself disciplining in the way that my mother disciplined, I had to stop that because I remember, my body remembers how it felt, right? Because the body never forgets. Please understand that. Once you put your hands on your child, you will be a lucky person if they want to be around you when they no longer need you for their survival, for their survival. That's how you know you are a good parent. But so many Black people, brown people, Asian people, so many people maintain obligatory contracts with the person who abused them. And then you wonder why you wound up in a toxic relationship. Because that dynamic, you didn't stop it. You continued it. You maintained a contract with somebody who you should have cut it off. You should have cut it off. Why is it going back to that? Hold on. I'm going to read you some of my comments. I got a rebuttal for all of you. I don't care what you say. I don't care. If you come in here defending Jackie, if you come in here telling me, oh, Erica, you're not healed because I'm able to identify what is happening. And everybody wants to say, well, Chantel shouldn't have come on the show. None of that actually matters. None of it matters. None of it matters. And Takari going against Chantel is exactly what Jackie wants. That's exactly what Jackie created. When Takari played that, she has literally, I think it's psychotic. I actually think it's fucking weird that she played a clip of somebody being beat so violently in the background. And she's like this. You're fucking sick, bitch. Your ass is fucking sick. And the only reason why you're doing that is because you feel like, my goodness, after all this time, the golden child is finally getting the discipline that I was always getting. So I'm just going to sit back and listen because I'm actually happy that our mother punched her in the face, because I felt like I was being punched in the face while Shani had to monitor me running on a treadmill. And then Chantel also said that in that clip with her and Laura Govan, she can't remember in family pictures with Takari in it because Takari was too Black and too fat. Too Black, too fat. I think a lot of us have been taught to protect the parent, even if it kills the child inside. I said abuse is so common it becomes invisible. Multiple generations experience hitting, emotional neglect, or manipulation, and we're told that's just parenting. That's just your parent. They can't recognize abuse when it's happening, even when it's clear, because at least you had a roof over your head and I turned out fine. You know how many motherfuckers who've been beat say they turned out fine and everybody they're in a relationship with is fucked up because you turned out fine? No, you didn't. You didn't turn out fine if you were beat as a child, if you were emotionally abused as a child, if you were neglected as a child, if you were hit, any of that. You didn't turn out okay. Now, everybody can go get therapy. Some people don't even have access to therapy. But I'll tell you one thing, if you are somebody raising a child and you are putting your hands and physically disciplining your child, you are creating imprints on your child that they are going to have to heal when they get older. They're going to have to reparent themselves. If you are putting your hands on your child because that's how you were raised, stop it. And ask your children for forgiveness. Tell them, explain to them why you are putting your hands on them in a violent, aggressive way. You should not. And then telling children to lay down and allow somebody to beat them, and you can't discipline yourself. I mean, you can't defend yourself. It's easier for people to shame the truth tellers than to face uncomfortable truths. I said, whenever there's a fight, you all try to figure out who did what first. It doesn't matter who hit who first, brushed up against who first. Jackie balled up her fist and called that lady a bitch because she's been wanting to do that. Because not only was Jackie triangulating her children, she was triangulating Chantel, with her father because you were jealous of that light skinned little girl. And don't act like mothers don't be jealous of their daughter's relationship with their fathers and create triangulation and barriers and hurdles between those relationships. Let's not act like that doesn't happen. I'm telling you, Jackie Christie doesn't get nothing, zero from me. Nothing, nothing. I said the audio to this reel is fucking psychotic, and this only shows that when Takari saw Chantel get preferential treatment she didn't get, she's happy to finally see Jackie ball her fist up, hit her, and call her a bitch. Takari is a clown for that. I said I will always have a rebuttal for parental abuser apologists. From Takari's perspective, Chantel got preferential treatment, but with most preferences, they're mistreated too, sometimes worse. Takari doesn't know what Chantel experienced, and the fact that any of you allowed Takari to come out and be like, she doesn't even know our mother. Girl, shut up. Y'all are literally allowing Takari to say that Chantel doesn't know our mother. No, you don't know the mother Chantel had. You had a mother that both of y'all had Jackie as a mother, but both of y'all have two different experiences. And how many times have you heard a child tell another sibling, "Oh, you're mom's favorite"? They have a different perspective of how they're seeing you be treated than what's being done to them. So you think that she's getting preferential treatment when she had the agony of watching you timing you on a treadmill? And that's why I say, fuck this lady. Nothing has changed because all of you apologists help fuel this woman's delusion. And that's why I bet you Jackie doesn't come out with a statement. Takari done came out with a statement. Chantel done come out with a statement. Doug and Jackie have not, the parents have not come out with a statement. And you know why? Because Jackie, all of y'all are defending Jackie. So she doesn't have to say anything. Everybody is defending her, making excuses, cheering her on for pulling rank and showing her who's the mother. Girl. The son won't speak, and I wish he would. They want your reaction to disrespect so they can use your reaction to paint you as the problem and deflect from their own toxic behavior. And that's why, and you hear it. You know when a child, the way when an adult child, the way they've been treated by their parent, because they always have to say, "I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm grown." They always have to reiterate, "I'm grown. I'm grown." When you hear adult people having to reiterate, I'm grown," is because they are speaking from a place where the child couldn't do anything, but now I can. Now I can say something and you can't do anything to me. But Jackie did, and that's what everybody is cheering on. Jackie pulled rank as a hierarchy. I'm the mother in this motherfucking. I will hit you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. I will hit you. I've been wanting to hit your fucking light-skinned ass because because my husband likes women who look like you. So fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna beat your ass. And then you heard Jackie said, this is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all wanted. Should we have seen it? I don't know. It happens. So maybe we should see what it looks like. Maybe you should see. Maybe it can sober some of y'all up because y'all be drunk on the hierarchical parenting styles. Drunk on that shit. I said Black children are programmed to accept abuse from parental figures and elders and if they defend themselves, it's seen as disrespecting the person who abused them. It's a very sick and psychotic mindset. She followed Doug Christie around the country, standing outside of locker rooms so no other woman would fuck him. Fuck Jackie Christie. Jackie has admitted to neglecting her children. She's also mean and blocked the relationship early on between them and Doug, especially the girls, out of jealousy. She's jealous of her daughter. She never wanted them to come first when it came to him. She always wanted to remain first. And you see this happening, this dynamic happening so many times. Y'all don't want to talk about how Jackie neglected her children to be on the road with Doug Christie, going to every basketball game, standing outside of locker rooms to make sure no groupies went in. How do you think the children of parents who neglected them should act? And the fact is, y'all were children. And so I don't understand. And like I said, unless you've had the experience, you really don't understand. Like there's some people like, I have a great relationship with my mother. I have a great relationship with my father. And how could you do that to your mother? Why would you want to hit your mother? Girl, once you put your motherfucking hands on me, we're not family anymore. It's no family. You are an op. You are an enemy to me. And I've been taught by my family, once a person puts their hands on you, you defend yourself and make sure they're not moving once everything is done. I don't give a fuck who it is. You didn't give a fuck who I was when you put your motherfucking hands on me. What the fuck? I'm supposed to give a fuck about you because you are a mother? No, bitch. I'm the child. That's why I tell people when they do, oh, you only get one mother. No, you only get one me. You only get one me. You only get one daughter. You can have multiple daughters. You can only get one Erica. I'm telling you. I realize that in therapy. Like they're like, oh, you only get one mother. You only get, you're like guilted into accepting the abuser back into your life. The abuser that you call mother back into your life. And then you wonder why y'all end up in these fucking weird ass relationships with people. Because you've accepted abusers back into your life, back into your world, back into your space, all because they have a label of mother or father. Girl, fuck that. Fuck them people. You mean rich kids? I said, what did I say? You mean rich kids with resources and freedom to do whatever they want with the guidance of a loving grandmother? I said, yeah, rich kids with resources. You motherfuckers have got to be the most daft, vapid group of people in the history of humanity. And I posted a picture of Eric and Lyle Menendez, rich kids with resources who shot their parents' face off because their fathers were sticking his dick and making them suck his dick. And they shouldn't be. Girl, that's why I'm like, I don't care about them. Even though they look fucking crazy now, I don't care about them being let loose because they've neutralized, they've terminated their threat. I don't feel like they're a threat to anybody else. They terminated the threat. Y'all lucky kids a bunch of kids don't turn around and kill their parents and turn this motherfucker into children of the corn. Ask the children of NBA players. Ask the children of NBA players, did they feel neglected by their fathers? And ask them, did their mothers run around? Shawnee O'Neal didn't run around after Shaq. And those kids still felt neglected. Even Shaq was apologizing to his son for playing basketball, going all over the world, doing whatever he needed to do, and neglecting his children, not being there. But he was still providing, right? Trying to provide a life for them, playing basketball, getting all this money. Jackie Christie, she was not at home with her daughter. She was on the road with Doug, following Doug around, arguing with Doug, marrying Doug every year. They could have been a there could have been a better way to resolve this without doing what Chantel did. I'm telling you, when somebody is reacting to their abuser, I'm like, the way that Gertie reacted to Julia after she assaulted her, I'm like, y'all can't tell people how to react to abuse. Y'all, you can't tell people how to react. And sometimes it looks irrational. Sometimes it looks illogical, because what's illogical and irrational is abusing children. That's the fucking illogical and irrational thing that's happening here. Abusing people. And those people finally growing up and saying, you know what? Fuck you for putting your hands on me. Fuck you for emotionally abusing me. Fuck you for triangulating me with my dark skinned fat sister. I mean, why would you want to put your hands on your mother though? Because she put her hands on me? What are you talking about? So I'm supposed to let her hit me because she's my mom? Y'all don't see how crazy that sounds? Would you let a nigga hit you because he's your husband? I'm going to let him hit me. He's my husband. No, you wouldn't. The same goes for your mother and your father and any caregiver, parental guide, or whatever, putting their hands on children. You lucky these motherfuckers don't have the minds of the Menendez brothers and shoot your fucking faces off. Girl children don't get protected. Boy children do, especially in hierarchical, patriarchal households. Their experience is always dismissed. But the boys, baby, the way the world coddles them and empathizes with their childhood experience with their parents should be studied. If Doug Christie Jr. came to the front, each and every one of y'all would be on his side. Chantel isn't 16 anymore, someone says. She's a grown adult with her own children. She should be focusing on that instead of trying to out her mother on television. God forbid that you expose the person who harmed you for who they are. And Jackie displays who she is in the relationship with the women on the show. I said, which is why they fought. You never want to beat the person who harmed you. This just happened to be her mother. And based on the relationship, the normal respect that you give your mother is out the window. Sometimes you want to fight the person who caused you harm and trauma. Some children have killed their parents after they've been abused. And then I had this woman ask me, was I black? Was I black? As if being black means that you need to accept abuse from your parental guides and caregivers and respect your mother. How do you, it's really weird how you actually have to respect. I had to clear some space. Oh, let me see. I think this was down a little bit. Is this better? I feel like it was down more. Okay. I'm just reading my comments. I'm just gonna let this run um until Jackie Christie. I said that already. This woman said, "Are you black?" So this is how the conversation went. Uh, it's painful to see millennials siding with Jackie Christie. She says, "I wish I would put my hands on my mother." The fuck you mean? I said, "You saying you wish you would, but why would you? Like, why would you put your hands on your mother? Why would you? Why would a person put their hands on their mother? Why? Why? What would be the reason? What's the reason? What is the reason? Oh, she was abusive? So I kind of understand why you like finally defended yourself. I get it. This woman said, "Are you black?" Because as black people, you are taught, programmed, and conditioned to accept abuse from parental figures. You are. We are. But shout out to the chain breakers. Shout out to the breakers of generational curses and generational trauma. Shout out to everybody who is not allowing themselves to continuously be gaslit by people telling them that they should be in community with folks who harm them. I said, Doug had a job that kept him out of the home. And you know who was right there on every NBA road trip to another state? Jackie motherfucking Christie. So if she was on the road with Doug, making sure he wasn't cheating, where do you think her children were? Oh, being raised by their grandmother, who raised Jackie Christie. Mm. The woman Chantel was created by Jackie Christie. All roads lead back to Jackie and Doug. Chantel has so much smoke for her mama, but where was the father in all this? Even if he did nothing but allow Jackie to be Jackie, he deserves some smoke too. I think that's a deflection. We stay on men all the time. And we always hear, why don't y'all ever hold mothers accountable? Why don't we ever have conversation about toxic mothers? Why don't we have those? And now we have the conversation and y'all want to deflect back to the man. Ask children who come from a two-parent home whether or not their dad was involved in discipline and rewards. Ask them. Let's stop making excuses for Chantel's behavior because she's disrespectful. Disrespectful to the person who harmed her. She deserves disrespect. She deserves disrespect, bitch. You deserve some discipline for the way you mistreated your children. I don't give a fuck if Chantel is 40 years old. Jackie deserves some discipline, but she pulled rank and she punched her in the face and y'all loved it. Not y'all, but y'all. Probably some of y'all. Chantel has to form into a pretzel. I haven't heard anyone acknowledge that Chantel knows how to relate to Jackie based on how Jackie raised her. So your mom is disrespectful and women around have experienced her and talk their shit about her. She's abusive to you, but if someone else says something valid to her, you're defending the person who abused you. So Chantel should not be, Brittany Renner should not be supporting her. Hold on a second. Keisha Kayor sound crazy as HE double hockey sticks. She sound crazier than a bag of angel dust. Talking about Gucci can't function without her. I mean, the word on the street, he's slow anyway, so he needs somebody to take care of him anyway. So that's the word on the street here. He kind of slow. So she said he can't function without her. Anyways, I'm done talking about Jackie and Chantel. I was mad that I had to pause this video to do something and come back because I didn't want to pause the video. I was reading some of my comments. I said I was reading some of my comments about the dynamics between. I think I covered everything. I think I made my point. Excuse me. If you are going to get in the comments defending Jackie, you're going to have a really good defense team. You're going to need Robert Kardashian. You're going to need Johnny Cochran. You're going to need Garagos. You're going to need motherfucking, what's the ones that were defending Pontifico? What's his name? Agnifilo. Come on, Pontifico. You're going to need an all-star defense team to defend Jackie Christie. For me, when I tell you I have a rebuttal for everything y'all come at me defending that fucking weirdo lady, trust me, try me. I wanted to go live. I really want to go live, but I have a feeling that it'll be lagging and stuff. Anyways, let me be done with this video. My kid wants to use my tripod so he can make breakfast and film the whole thing, and so that we can get cold food when he's done making content, girl. Should I beat them? No, never. I'm not putting my hands on my kids because I actually want my kids when they're older and they don't depend on me anymore for survival. I actually want them to come around me, even though I did tell them I can't wait to live alone again. Girl, I cannot wait to live alone again. Girl, y'all can get out. If y'all want to leave, please go. Please go. I'll do whatever you need to do so that I can support you because I can't wait to live alone again. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your children, protect each other, protect your energy. Don't allow anybody to play in your face. Don't allow anyone to disrespect you. You see that how they're acting with Gertie after she bopped Julia in the head with them receipts. Beep 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 and a bop 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 and a knockout drag down, like my grandfather used to say. Anyways, take care of each other, protect your energy, protect the kids, okay? Let's get down in the comments. Protect the adult children too. Shout out to all the adult children who dealt with toxic parents, who were gaslit, guilted into maintaining obligatory. They're not obligatory, but you are conditioned to feel like you have to maintain a obligatory contract with the person who abused you. You don't. Release that, release them, and get them the fuck out of your life, because it does affect and trickle over to how you allow other people to treat you. If you allow the person who harmed you to stay in your life, it is going to affect how you deal with everybody else. So, and for those who don't have access to therapy, I don't know, maybe watch some YouTube videos on how to deal with on how to reparent yourself, because you can reparent yourself. And you give that child that was mistreated, give them everything that you wanted. Give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. Everything you wanted from your parent, you can reparent yourself and give it back to yourself. So take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.